of Notre Dame. So we got married, and then I get this starring role in the movie. So I was like Caesar returning at the head of 5,000 men. You know, the mayor is talking to me and all this kind of good stuff. Oh, what do you got? 35, is that how we did it? Okay. Okay, so look, hold on, let me take it or something. Okay, for those of you who got these, here they are. We'll get them at the end. Okay. It's so sweet. We've never done that before. This is the first time that I've ever done this, or that I know that this has been done. And all for you. Okay, so favorite part of it was being with my wife. The fact that we were newlyweds, and it just felt like we were doing something important. You know, that really is an actor. Funny things, silly things are fantastic because you make people laugh and take them out of their whatever problems they might be having in their life, and that's important. And then there's other things you do where you just think, this Rudy, the values in Rudy, courage, determination, not willing to let other people tell you what you're capable of and what you're not capable of. You say for yourself what you're going to do. And then Lord of the Rings, which just deals with the epic human questions of the nature of good and evil and right and wrong, and, you know, war and peace and immortality and all these things. I feel like, you know, ultimately when my lifetime is over, I will know at the end of my lifetime that I was a part of some things that really meant something. So that's how I was feeling when my wife and I when I was doing Rudy. Okay, Abercrombie, what do you got?
How fun was it to be in Rudy, and did you really tackle the guy or someone at the end of the movie?
Did I really tackle someone at the end of Rudy? Yes. In front of 50,000 screaming Notre Dame fans. The only thing that's important to understand, though, is we had worked it out ahead of time, so it wasn't a surprise. Like, that quarterback could have probably run a little bit faster and gotten away from me, but he knew that he was going to get sacked. So that's one of the great things about making a movie, is that you can just enjoy the fantasy of it. And that was pretty great. That was pretty great. And getting to give some of those speeches. We're going to go inside, outside, inside, and outside. We're going to get them on the run, boys. Once we get them on the run, we're going to... Can you hear the echo? Now batting. Okay, sorry.
I first want to say thanks for coming out to McAllen and doing this for us. Also, just want to say Rudy was one of my favorite sports movies all time.
Thanks, man.
And I was just wondering, what is one of your favorite sports movies beside Rudy, of course?
Oh, so many.
And why?
Well, I love, the first one that just popped into my head is Chariots of Fire. Right? Chariots of Fire is just another one where if you watch it with the sound off, it's not as good. You know, you have to do the da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. There's something about the religious, the way religion was depicted, you know, Abraham's commitment to his religion and not wanting to race on the Sabbath, and like, you know, combining that with the Olympics and just the history of it. I don't know, I just loved it. And the way the one guy, I can never remember his name, but the way he talks about running, and when he runs, he feels like, you know, he's running like he's running with God. And he can feel, that's how I feel when I'm running, even though I don't run anywhere near as fast as that. But that one, and then you gotta love like Rocky. I love all the great football movies. Jerry Maguire was on last night. I watched like 2 minutes of that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Jerry Maguire's a great movie. I'm a sucker for good movies. And if you were to show me the list of the top 20 movies, sports movies, I would have seen all of them 10 times and loved them all. You know, yeah. Thank you. Hey, Doc Brown.
Actually, Quicksilver, but
whatever.
But yes, what was it like to work with Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau and Rudy?
Well, Jon Favreau it was their first movie, and they were so excited to be a part of it. And you know, Vince didn't have that much to do, but we had a little fight scene, and he had these long, like talon claw fingernails that he reached through my helmet and like cut my forehead, and I'm scarred. Vince Vaughn scarred me. And Jon Favreau, you know, they were just very idealistic and excited and just wanted to soak up every minute of it. And you know, who would have known that they would end up going on to become such prolific and you know, luminary figures in movies and television. I've been really watching The Internship a lot lately. Vince Vaughn, I think he hit his stride with that one. I just love it. I can just watch it over and over again. Yeah, Sal, if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. That's one of my favorite lines. Anyhow, there you go. Yeah. Yes, young lady. Yeah. Well, you can, whatever. Everyone wants to hear your voice.
In the Fellowship of the Ring, when Sam was eavesdropping on Frodo and Gandalf, did Ian McKellen really lift you up and throw you onto the coffee table to my surprise?
I ain't been dropping no eaves, honest. I've been out trimming the verge. The actual technical way we did was the camera was pointing at the table and I just kind of lay down on the table. He didn't lift me up, no. No, he lifted me up in emotional ways, spiritual ways. But yeah, I think I'm bigger than him. And not in my hobbit self. Yeah, it's so funny when you go to meet people and parents are like, you're gonna meet a hobbit, you're gonna meet a hobbit, oh my gosh, you wait till you get to meet a hobbit. And then a kid meets you and they're like, huh? I took the blue pill, I grew back up, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, thank you. Yes, sir, with the black and yellow hat on, with the big brim. Yeah, beard, my friend from before.
Akira. No. I
don't know if someone asked this already.
Best Buy.
What do you think you would be doing now?
What we're, you know, it's funny because it seems logical for anybody that knows me or is interested in my career or my family that I would have become an actor. It just seems natural, and I guess it was. But when I was 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, like that, I always said, you know, I've been blessed to have these opportunities, and I'm so grateful for them. And maybe I'll continue to take advantage of those opportunities if they continue to present themselves. But that may not be what I want to do. Maybe I'll do something else. I think the logical things for me would have been like teacher, like a history or English teacher. Yeah. And here's to all the teachers who affect the lives of students. It's such a sacred thing to do. Maybe a politician. I have the gift of gab, and I think, you know, and I care about people, and I think that might have been a good. There can be a nobility to that profession. You don't see it very often, and certainly, you know, the honorable politicians don't get the most coverage in the news media. But I actually think in order to have a vibrant community, you need leaders who are thoughtful and engaged, and so I think I might have been able to do that. I don't know.
Sean Astin for president.
Just, I don't, is the mayor of McAllen here? Is that a good job? Yeah, I always wanted to be a congressman. But you know what's interesting, and I just watched this on CNN this morning after my run. It was the guy who wrote Freakonomics, one of the two writers of Freakonomics, was saying that he has a new book out called something about robbing banks. Like, when's the best time to rob a bank or something like that? Or does it pay off to rob banks? And he basically was saying that they were studying the motivation, people's motivations. And he's like, you pay a politician, you know, $100 grand a year, and then when they finish their job, because of their connections, they can make $750,000 or $1.5 million a year. What kind of productivity do you think you're going to get out of that politician? You know, most people look at it and say, hey, why should you make more money than me? I'm working, you know, I work hard. I work in a factory, or I work here. You know, it's like, well, look at how much, I don't know. I'm one of those who thinks you should pay politicians more and find some way to hold them accountable harder. Yeah. Anyhow, so did I just get into politics? What just happened? Well, what else would I do? I don't know. I could have been a gardener like Samwise, I guess. Thank you for your question.
Your room? Or somebody?
Yeah? Raise your hand if you're a gardener.
Woo! I get TV, my PS3.
Raise your hand if you're a farmer.
We're a Pt.3 guy, then we're no longer friends. I'm the next.
Cultivate your own garden is what Voltaire said at the end of Candide, his classic book, and it just means that if you look after yourself and if you do the right thing, and so does your neighbor, and so does that person's neighbor, and everything else, before you know it, you've got a world of peace and healthy food. Anyhow, go ahead.
Anyway, Sean. What were the difficulties
They had like 5 or 6
making
Grand
video
Theft
games
Auto
a movie as far as you
Any
have to
more
do
comments?
research, like from Xbox Odyssey,
Street Fighter.
the video game Crash in 1983, and then also
Mostly
Xbox One.
Street Fighter,
and all that
Tekken.
stuff.
Raise your hand if you've seen Video Games the movie. 4 people. Can you play stuff from the internet on here? You can get close to a camera? Let me see if I can play the opening sequence. We have time, right? Nobody's going anywhere. Dallas airports are closed. I'm here for a while.
Can't wait for pixels.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna play this.
You worked with him, so maybe he knows.
Hold on. I'm gonna play this thing so people know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? Little game movie? The one in the 80s, right? Huh? The documentary? No. The movie.
Okay, here's the official trailer.
What was that movie?
Up to the camera there. But you gotta hear the. Do you have a portable mic? Take it. Do you have a camera?
What was that movie called? No, the other one was a video game. They premiere and Warner Brothers 3.
I thought you were talking about that movie with
This is a crowd that would totally appreciate video games and movies, so. Okay, ready?
What was the theme? What is the story?
Is that it? Wait, I can get a little closer. That's enough. Can you see it? Okay, here we go.
My first console I remember playing was the Atari 2600. I remember saying, like, wow, look at the graphics. I never thought it would be anything for it worth $30 million. What? Video games vastly differ from every other kind of media. A good video game is probably the hardest thing to make.
The whole point of the game was literally shooting pixelated aliens that were falling out of the sky. Nowadays, not only do we know why those aliens are falling out of the sky, we know the names of their moms. And we know we have to destroy all of that.
They've evolved into truly global experiences. It's a borderline religious experience. And just something about blowing your friend in half, nothing is more satisfying. I have lifelong friends that I've met just playing together online. It's the ultimate example of art and science working together. It's making a movie times 1,000.
Back in the early days, we really did look forward to a day where video games would be interactive movies.
Video games in the next 30 to 40 years are going to be unimaginable, where you can live the dream you always wanted to live.
Wow, that trailer is really good. I saw
That's just a trailer. Like the actual first 5 minutes of the movie, you get to like almost play all the games through history for the last 30, 40 years. So, but you know what? Jeremy Sneed made that movie. He was the documentary filmmaker, and this guy spent 3 years, at least 3 years, 3 focused years, developing relationships with all the heads of all the video game companies and you know, getting their confidence and having interviews with them and learning about it and you know, kind of finding ways to photograph the technology. And it's actually not a very like hard-hitting look at video games. It's more of a kind of a commercial for the idea of video games, but it is a triumph of hard work and determination, and now he's going to make it into a series. So.
Whoa, awesome.
Right? There you go. Anybody else? Who we got? Oh, yes, young lady. Yes.
Hey, what was that?
I'm having fun. You guys having fun? Hi.
First of all, I want to say Goonies never say die.
Goonies never say die.
And,
Who wants to be a Goonie? Okay, you got to stand up and repeat after me. I have the power to make you a Goonie. If you want to be a Goonie, you got to stand up. Okay, well, I'll stand up too. Hold on. Okay, you ready? You can ask your question in a minute. All right, raise your hand and repeat after me. I. Let's try it again. I. Sean. Do solemnly swear. To abide the Goondock faith. All right, congratulations, you're all Goonies now. All right, your question.
When you were making the movie, during one of the scenes, was it hard to what's it called? Say the dialogue?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Like the first scene that I had in the movie that we filmed was where Mikey's in the windowsill of his house, and I lay back, and then I sit up, and I say something about to Brand about something, and I was so nervous that I I couldn't really say the words right. I kept messing up, and the director just do it again, and he's like, great, we got it. And I was like, we didn't get it. I never really said it right, and I guess I did, but that would happen a lot. You know, but then you do a scene like in Oregon, we were filming, I think it got cut out of the movie. There's a scene where the police are chasing the Fratellis, and one of the cop cars goes off the side of the dock, and it lands upside down on a boat, and the boat is shaking back and forth. I think it got cut out of the movie. You have to get that right in one. You can't, there's no retakes on that. So there are certain times where, as an actor, you gotta do it. You gotta nail it. You know? Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
What's it called? When the boat came out, or at least when you got done, and you guys got to watch the final clip and all that, what was it like?
I was so upset when I saw it because all 7 of us kids, we talk at the same time through the whole movie, and you can't hear what anybody's saying. And I was like, I thought they were gonna fix that. So it took me a couple of viewings to appreciate how brilliant it was that they let the kids be kids.
My brother's in the boy.
Yeah.
5 months old.